Hello there, I'm just going to do a review of this pen. It's the Visconti Vertigo, so we'll go and have a closer look at it. Well, here's the box, and if you haven't bought a Visconti recently, this might be new to you. This is the new sort of fairly standard box for mid-range pens. And it's great, it's got the Visconti logo, but let's have a look and see what we get inside it. And here we go. And it's another grey box, but I've got to say quite a nice one, not too big, and that's fairly good news to most of us, I think. Right then, and here we have the pen, nicely nestled in here. That's really attractive, isn't it? And this is it. This is what all the fuss is about. The Visconti Vertigo, and this is, they call it the orange version. Now, the first thing to notice, I think, is the shape, and it is one of Visconti's favourites. It's the opera shape, so they used to refer this as squaring the circle, because what you've got is basically a rectangular shape. Let's have a look here with smoothed off edges, basically, so it's like a sort of almost octagonal, but with some of the sides actually considerably broader than the others. There we go. I'm trying to get back into focus. Now, the opera size has been around for quite a long time. I like it. The Opera Master is the large version. This isn't actually the master size. This is just a straightforward opera. However, saying that, when we look at the dimensions of the pen, it's actually fairly weighty. So the whole pen weighs about 40 grams. The pen itself is about 24 grams, and process of elimination, 15-16 grams is the weight of the cap. The material is resin. And as always with Visconti, they've actually done a very good job on it. It's really nice looking stuff. I'm going to bring it up close so we can have a look at the texture, because I'm not quite sure what they've got in it. They've had a material called Acro Silk that has little bits of silk in it. I've got to say, there are little shiny particles in here, and you can see the movement of the material as I turn the pen round. So I hope you're picking this up. It really is another very interesting resin from Visconti. There we go. Now, the other thing that you'll notice is we have metal appointments. The end cap is metal. There's a nice metal band, and on it will almost certainly say Visconti is my bet. Let's have a look. So we have, here we go, the Visconti logo there, and we'll turn it around, see what it says on the back. Oh, nothing. There we go. Never mind, but while we're here, we'll have a look at the classic Visconti bridge type clip, and of course it's sprung. There we are. Altogether a very professional bit of kit. And again, while we're here, we'll take a look at the top, which will be, as always, Visconti logo. There we go. Right. Now, what about the details on this pen? Material we've said is resin. Most attractive. It comes in 4 different colours. It comes in a blue and a purple and a plain black. I don't know quite how plain the black is. Hopefully there's some interest in it. It's a cartridge converter pen. There we go. And it's also magnetic closure. Now, that's something that Visconti are fairly big on. They use it in their less expensive pens. And actually, it's a very effective system, and I think it works very well on this Visconti Vertigo. So let's just have a quick look inside, see what the engineering's like. I'll try and stay in focus. I keep tapping the camera to make sure it stays in focus. So here we are. And here's the converter. We'll come in again. There we go. And a feature that I do quite like on any pen is that it is actually a screw-in converter. So that's just slightly sophisticated, slightly better than you would get elsewhere. And here's a nice close-up of the nib. There we go. Right. I think that was someone just tapping on the door trying to get in. There we go. I shall see them in a moment. Right, so what else do we need to say about it? So we told you how heavy it is. Comes with their small steel nib, which we've just had a look at. This one's a medium. And again, for those who don't know, you can tell the size on these nibs by the number of dots. They come in fine, medium and broad. The fine has 1 dot, the medium has 2 dots, and the broad has 3 dots. So there we are. Right. I'm not going to do a write test on this, to be honest. I've felt the pen in my hand. I mean, and I've got to say, it feels really very pleasant. I mean, it's as I've said before, you know, it's a decent weight and it's a decent size. And we'll have another look here because I have tried this before, and yes, it posts very comfortably, very effectively. So the fact it's not the Opera Master is maybe not the end of the world for us. With that on its back, it is a substantial and nicely balanced pen. Now, what you think of the finish is of course entirely up to you. As I've said, it's not just a bog standard resin, it's got a lot of interest in it, and I like that very much indeed. As I said, it's a weighty pen. I think this is actually quite a considerable enhancement to Visconti's range. It comes in at a bit under £300. I think on the whole this is a pen that you would imagine costs about £300. I did ask staff in the shop what they thought it was going to cost before I told them how much, and they all came up with about £350. So I think probably it's not badly priced at all. So there we have it. The Visconti Vertigo. I'm not sure that it really makes me feel dizzy, but it is a pen I think I quite like to own.